Good morning and happy second Monday. I didn't get to the little setup button where it went and broadcasted, so it's apparently a second Monday. So happy second Monday. I wonder how many people will show up on the show to tell me that I have said second Monday. So anyway, today we're going to work on Ron Fortier's piece and also Fred's piece. We've got two of them on the docket this morning, so we'll be working there. Go on ahead and join me. Sit here and pull up a cup of coffee, and let's get started. We were last working on this piece last week. These pieces are complicated. I feel like they should take more time because of the nature of the fact that they are just difficult. See, like I said, so you missed the first part. I didn't get to the button fast enough to switch it to Tuesday. And I said, I wonder how many people are going to get in here and say, you called it Monday, so this is second Monday. That's what we got going. Hi there, Brent. How's your job going? Kind of missed you yesterday. I didn't kind of miss you. I definitely missed you yesterday. So I'm going to take here and we're going to take off this part here and then just make this bumpy on the top. There has to, if in every, oh good, well there you go. Makes it easy, I guess. In every post-apocalyptic thing I have ever seen, there is always a VW bug. They survive the apocalypse. So I love adding VW bugs in here. It's extraordinarily recognizable. You can see these, they're extremely recognizable vehicles. I'm just going to bend this here. I'll just make this bay empty. Somebody pulled the engine out and walked away with it a long time ago. So a long time ago, they lost this engine. Somebody has not taken this back fender yet, but they will somewhere along the line. It'll get melted down or something will happen to it. So somehow this door has remained on, but the mirror has not. But I'll leave the turn signal on there. That's kind of unique. I mean, we've got to leave enough of the vehicle that people will recognize it. Otherwise, the joke is not good. But I can leave a hole here for that. Turn signals. I'll make these look like it's been pounded on up here. There we go, just like this. Excellent. There we go. Make stuff dangle down from in here, like the header panel or something. Right. And this goes like that, just a little bit over the edge here. If anybody's ever seen a VW without this back panel on it, it's got just a little bit of an indent right there. Just a little bit. So, I'm going ahead and do this. There we go. And then this is definitely the gaping hole where once a transmission was, but isn't anymore. Somebody's yanked that out and walked away with it. So, all right. Right? We bring in our characters are still walking down the street. You're not going to see a lot of that because of his boot, but that's okay. So, it's kind of sad, but it's all right. I'm just going to add in the details from my 3D model in the background because we don't need to keep much of this. Ooh, that line is way, way, way too thin. It's what's left of a Volkswagen Bug. Good morning, Paul. It's good to see you, my friend. Since this is a post-apocalyptic picture, there has to be a VW bug for reasons that are still beyond me. I have never figured out why people have to put bugs in a post-apocalyptic picture, but there has to be a bug. So, this guy's 1 point. We need him to be about 5 point. Be my thought. We'll just add and I kind of like the idea of buildings being somewhat janky because it's got to make you uncomfortable when you look at this picture. That's the whole point. Because they get mutated. Yes, because they get mutated. So, I mean, it's one of those things. I'm going to just do this. Everything here has gotten borked in one way or another. So even though I'm using the 3D model to sort of give me an idea of what's going on, I'm going to damage the image, obviously, like it's the end of the world sort of thing. So we've got kind of this stuff going on here in the background where I'm just kind of following the lead of this picture here. Right? So I actually could probably just use my normal brush because at this point in time nothing's going to be very straight anymore. Everything's going to start to have collapsed and fall apart. Yeah, I think David's probably right, although I I believe personally that David says that it's because there's so many bugs. And if you count like Mexican bugs and stuff like that, because the Mexicans and the Brazilians have been making bugs that are like this long past when we stopped making them. In fact, I think the last Mexican bug just rolled off the assembly line like 5 years ago or something like that. And they finally stopped making this model, like the 1975 model. In section 12? No, so Paul, this is for a novel which is being written or has been written and is now getting illustrated for Airship 12 or Airship 27. I'm sorry, Airship 27. And so what I'm doing here is just adding a bunch of wreckage to this. Right? Airship 27 is a group founded by Ron Fortier, who's a writer, comic book writer, and he and I have kind of we've been getting together at this like a collective, an artist collective in Fort Collins. And I met with him in February, and he said, "Hey, I've got this idea. How would you like to illustrate a novel? It's only 8 ilios." And I said, "That sounds like a fine idea. But since it's a novel, I kind of want to go a little bit further than I would have in the normal comic book scene." So I'm Mockingjay, gotcha. You're talking about the Katniss Everdeen saga. So I'm a Trekkie. Anytime you say section, I just assume you mean section 31, and we just don't know it yet. Haven't gotten that far yet. That's all. So anyway, this is he had this idea about me illustrating part of one of his novels, and so I started doing that, and that's what I've been doing here for a while now. This is Elio 2. The characters are moving through the part of this world that is post-apocalyptic. It changes as time goes on. The world does. So, I mean, they go to a different aspect of this post-apocalyptic world. But for right now, I kind of want to set it up as classic post-apocalyptic because it changes. It changes dramatically once we get to this part, and this later part of the story. So, there's the leak right there. Find the leak. So it's an interesting change of pace for me. Illustrations have, for novels, haven't really been a thing that I've done a lot of. So I'm fascinated by this. This is kind of cool. I've got sort of a one shot going on here on each one of these pictures, which I think is cool. So what I'm doing here is filling in the entire thing because there's a leak. There we go. I'm going to start doing leak checks like we do layer checks as part of this store, as part of our thing. Part of it is that the line tool doesn't seem to be as accurate as the brush tool. I mean, when I come down on the brush like this, I'm getting a pretty accurate feel of what's going on. But when I hit this with the line tool, it's not this good. There we go. I'm going to damage up the place a little here. There we go. Make this look. There we go. We're just adding some wreckage of a cobra head here. What's left of a cobra head. There we go. Because that looks good. It looks like it's a good bend. Do I have a little teeny window of me down here? Look, I've got a window of me. Wow. Hi. Window of me. I'm in the bottom right-hand corner. Who knew? So you're really just looking at the back of my head as I draw this. That's all right. Funny, but all right. That's totally acceptable. So we're going to just put this in. I wonder if that adds to it. Does that add anything to it, guys? Having me in the bottom right-hand corner over there, you're just looking over my shoulder. Is that better or is that worse? What do you think? I can give them feedback on that. So they're still listening to me. They haven't quite gotten to the point where they have so many people that they don't listen to me anymore. And there comes a point, where they stop listening to their people because there's just too many people. And I totally understand it. I don't blame them at all. So, what do we think? Okay. There we go. Put this in. What we're doing here is just giving the facade of the building a look so that it actually looks right. I have to clean that up. No, that works. There. Add a little bit. I'm just going to go back in here and clean this up so it's not so dirty. There we go, just like that. right? Well, you know, Animal Crossing seems like such a fun game. So, can't blame you on that one. I'm going to add rubble down here. Rubble. There we go. We'll just add some rubble to the bottom of this picture. We'll come back over here and let's fix some of this stuff, right? We had to seal it up, which we did. Also got to kind of do this number in here because we got to kind of get junk through here. And I like things hanging from the ceiling sort of effect. Out the window. There we go. And then all of this is just going to be black in here. It's whatever happened in here happened in here. We don't know. This happened a long time ago. There we go. Just enough that you know something happened. Animal Crossing, I can see a lot of people have been very addicted to Animal Crossing, which is great. I mean, not great necessarily, but I love seeing people be excited about something. Not really much of like I tried to get into Pokemon Go too, and I just don't have the chops to do it. I don't think it's not a matter of skill; it's a matter of I get bored and then stop playing, and then I come back 3 years later and progress none at all. And then I get frustrated, and then it's like, why did I do this to myself again? You know, and I think that happens way too much. So kudos to my gamer friends who game. I like my games that I play, like Star Trek Online and stuff like that, where I can go 6 months without playing and it really doesn't hurt me that much. Okay, we're going to put some big beams into the building here. Do this number. Right. There we go. And all we're doing is just adding to the chaos right here, right? I mean, that's what we're doing. We're just adding to the chaos of this particular... This building is in sad shape, so... There we go. That's what it is. This building is just nastily in bad shape. All right. If we turn this guy up to there, then turn these guys on, we can get a good feel of what this picture is looking like here. Right? We're getting closer to a complete feel on this one. But the problem is you can see that we get like a problem with the background and the foreground not working. So what we do is we'll do an old comic book trick. And I'll take this guy here. Ooh, that's a little too much, but just a little bit of a stroke to the foreground. And I should position it in the center because otherwise it gets a black line or a white line in the middle, right? There we go. Okay, so that's helping this kind of get together and lock it in. But let's also talk about like associating the backdrop over here so that you can kind of see what's. I mean, I want some nice big black shapes that are way off to the left and to the right, so that this feels imposing, like the city buildings are imposing upon them, and that's what you want. You want to feel that things are not good. All right, we put some of this big, thick line work right here. Okay, so maybe I should not use line to be the fill tool du jour here. So this makes this piece look like it's got a lot of imposing stuff going on to it. Turn that restream off. Right? So we've got like a imposing side over here, which is just very imposing, in this black form over here, which is very imposing. I'm just going to keep seeing how far in I can build before I hit his cloak. There we go. Okay. There we go. Now the story was specifically calling for this guy to be dressed in a very specific way. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up the document on this. Ugh. Wow, I've done some work since the last time. It's kind of sad. Well, it's not that sad. I've just noticed that at first I thought that it'd be easy to load this load the script up, because I figured it would be right there, but it's not. It's somewhere else. But hey, you guys can actually tell what's going on. No, you can't hear me now. Hello, hello, hello. Did I kill the music? Okay, can you hear me now? No. I know you can hear me on. No, you can't hear me there either. Can you guys hear me? Are you hearing the music? Are you hearing anything? What's going on? I don't see the levels on my board. I see the levels on my board. Okay. Can you hear the music? Or are you just hearing me on the ground up here? No music. But you can hear me here. I feel like it's just picking up the microphone from the Well, do I sound all echoey or do I sound really high quality? Maybe if I turn the music up. Can you hear the music when I turn the music up? Okay, so it's still working. I just don't see the... You shouldn't be hearing the music being overwhelming. That's okay. Okay, back to what I was doing. So we're working on Ron. Hey, Bradley, how you doing? Good man. Cool. Well, I tried to get the music to... I guess it's just my meter on the screen that's not showing anything. Usually, whenever I do this, my meter on my board and my meter on the screen match, but not today, apparently. Who knew? So I'm going to go ahead and open the book, and we're going to look at... I like the fact that I'm down here in this corner over here, and you can see me, because now whenever I'm stopped like this, you can at least go, well, okay, well, now I know what's going on with him. You know. All righty. We're going to look up and go to Elio 2. The instructions for illustration 2. So I'm just going to hit find and go. Hey, that's good to see you. I'm glad to have you here. And you got the whole week off. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Maya's going to have next week off. So, all right. Now we're looking at this. We've got white collared shirt with some rippling lace that he thought was a bit raggedy, and black boots, tight black leggings, and a dark vest. And then his threadbare long overcoat. Okay, so let's get in here. Let's get to work on this. I have to work on Jordan here. I'm pretty happy with her. Although I probably should at least check into that. But he's got a button-up shirt, which apparently has lace. Okay, if you put it on the wrong side, it makes it look like a girl shirt. All right. More of a collar on this, but it's underneath here, so it's not going to be a problem. And we're going to build this one piece at a time, which is going to make you go, why are you doing that? Because it occurs to me that I probably should have done something with this vest, which would be like this. There we go. Get this vest in. Now I have to think about how vests go. Which way do we button? Because I think we button the other direction. Okay, we're buttoning the right way. Okay. Apparently you're not supposed to button the bottom button. Question really is, would he know that? I don't know. There we go. Excellent. Just like this. There we go. Just like that. And it's, sometimes we get into these like weird things where we just can't figure out what we're doing, and we'll get there. We'll get there. Everything will get there in time. So, all right. Give some highlights to his vest. That wasn't the highlight that I wanted. It's okay. There we go. Just like this. Just like this. Now, so what I'm doing here is just giving a little bit of a hint of what's going on with his outfit, right? Says he's wearing black pants too. They're skin tight, which that's going to be irritating, but we'll get there. I think you're thinking about what kind of trouble to cause. I also think you're filling in white, which won't help us any at all. All right. So the under part of this layer under here is has a special, or has that stroke added to it. So I have to go in here and kill the stroke too on this line. There we go, just like that. Just like that. We'll go through here and just fix this so it's not so obviously a. There we go. Just like this, just like this. Easy peasy. Alright, so want to put some delineation in so that you can see the difference between her hand and his pants. So we want to put some delineation in here. So even though his pants are black, 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 we're just going to assume that there's some sunshine on it or something to make it not so dramatic. There we go. Layer check. I'm actually on the correct layer. But thanks for the layer check. It's true. Okay. Once again, we're going to have to... So we get a lot of dust that accumulates on this monitor. It's kind of cool knowing that you guys can see what I'm doing this time. Because it's a monitor that's like right here. Says this is a monitor, but it's also at this angle. All the dust just lays down on it gently and makes my life miserable. So, okay, so it doesn't say anything about what she's wearing per se, other than she's gotten better stuff. But it does say what he's wearing. And since a couple of you people are new to this particular piece, apparently the character Jordan in the book, he was putting black paint under his eyes to get the reflection of the sun off of it, like much the way that football players do. So that's kind of what's going on with the big black things under the eyes there. He's trying to protect his eyes from the sun. I don't know. She's Islander, so she doesn't need it as badly, I guess, because she didn't do it. So I'm going ahead and just kind of put this in. It does say he has black boots, right? Because she started out wearing, like, effectively a sack, pretty much. Because she just showed up in the universe. But then it says she's got... Well, the instructions are saying she's got a hooded cloak. I don't know if I feel like she should have a hooded cloak. I feel like a hoodie sounds better. We'll have to set that back for proof. See you later, Brad. It was good to have you here. Go chase the kids. I actually sadly understand this all too well. Give my love to the family. Okay, we're going to go through here. We're going to do this. Just kind of give wreckage up here, like this. And we'll see whether that passes muster or not. We may get a rejection out of this because she's not dressed the way she's supposed to be dressed in the story, and that would be okay. That's not the first time that's happened. So, but we will do this and see what happens. And we'll just go like this. We're just putting a shadow in so that they've got weight, so that they actually look like they are real people. There we go. All right, so we've added in shadows to them, some weight. It looks good. So she had traded her ratty salvaged outfit for a billowy handmade cape of some kind, of softly draping red weave over simple slacks and a loose blouse. So where does this fit in? Because I see a cape. Kind of wonder if maybe this isn't a better setup for this. I'm willing to give him the look here of this. This needs to go this way. Let's finish off this. There we go, just like that. So she actually is dressed differently, and I feel like I kind of like her better in post-apocalyptic clothes rather than kind of the fantasy-esque clothes that the author has written in, but I'm willing to change if the author needs. So we'll posit this to the author and see what happens. And I'm just going to go back in through here and just do a little bit of work back here like this. Just want to make sure that looks good there. Good. Okay, so I'm feeling very much like I'm comfortable with the basic design of this. Want to do this. Here we go. And kind of want to do this. Gives a lot of strength and depth to that particular building over there. It looks like the building is crumbling, but it also feels monolithic. So I really kind of want to do that. That's just helping the depth of this. And these guys are here, so we're good there. Add a few more pieces of rubble coming out of the side here. These are just bent things, right? Bent rebar and stuff. So that adds to the feel that things are not straight here, and things are just really kind of rough in this part of the world. And we'll just add some like wires hanging out of this. There. Very post-apocalyptic foreground mess. It just feels good to the feels, and it adds a little bit of what we call vignetting, where it's dark around the characters so that they feel a little closed in and tight. That's what I want to kind of get the impression of when we're walking down the street, is that they're closed in and tight, right? I mean, it's just the way it goes. So I'm going ahead and fix some little problems like that guy right there. I'm going ahead and save it. And then I'm going to do a quick compression image size. We're going to make it 1,000. What we're doing here is I'm prepping it to give this to Ron. So this is 1-to-1, so it's still small. Let's say save as, and then we'll call this a JPEG. And what I'll say here is A, and this way I can. I'm going to close it and not save it at this point. Okay, so we've spent the first hour on that piece, and that piece is now out the door. So that one's, or at least out the door for right now. We'll come back to it later if we need to, and work on it. And I mean, it's a cool, this works pretty well sort of thing. So I'm going to go back to here. So, I mean, this is, that one's going to be good. By the way, I'm going to be getting a new webcam, I think, because I'm looking at myself, and even in my sort of imagery right here, it's all grainy and, right? So, we'll get myself a new camera for this mount right over here, and that'll be fine, and then that should help us a lot. So, that piece is out the door, illustration 1. So let's go ahead and close everything on that. We don't need to worry about that anymore. We're going to work on a Fred piece next. Gotta love Fred pieces. We've got an interesting Fred piece on the board over here, and so that's our next plan. So let's get to it. Let's be about it. All right. So this piece here is, we're working for the uninitiated who've not been following me for a while here. We've got a role-playing game book that I'm doing the illustrations for, and these are filler pieces. They're not, they're just pieces to add filler to the make it feel cool inside. And this piece here is about espers, people who have ESP. So I went on ahead and already did the underdrawing for it a while back to give myself the correct perspective and everything like that, and horses are hard. So working on horses and things like that were difficult, so we're going to just go ahead and just ink in here. So we're just going to go ahead and do this. Horses is something actually, it's kind of, I think originally we were going to make this a cow, and I thought it was funnier to make it horses. Because I got a story out of this. Because we had a couple of girls over here, and so my thought was, you've got the girls who are trying to convince the horse that the horse is now going to be a workhorse, or maybe a transport horse, or something. But I imagine it would be funny to have a pair of girls who are trying to at least get the horse to follow their instructions. Could be funny also that they're trying to just cause trouble with a horse. But either way, the horse is not having it. So he's like, I don't know about this, man. I really don't. There we go. Having him chew on some grass is funny and adds to the effect. He's doing something over here. but he's not finding this half as entertaining as they think he should find it. There we go. I am adding the sound effects just for you. They're free of charge. No charge on the sound effects. I'm also easily entertained, as you all are very familiar. But I'm also noticing that a lot of times I like to make the sound effects just so I can kind of feel what's going on. I feel like a 5-year-old whenever I do that, so it's very funny. There we go. There we go. There we go. Horse is the hardest part of this, so I'm going to make sure I've got that under control before I go any further. And she's got this huge post-apocalyptic. What is it with post-apocalyptic? I've got an awful lot of post-apocalyptic jobs on my plate, don't I? Seems I'm stuck here. That's all right. There we go. She's concentrating pretty hard here. And the truth is, I sort of feel like these are both teenage girls just causing mischief. Right, that's what I feel like here. We just got a couple of teenage girls being teenage girls. A little trouble going on here. They're probably trying to convince the horse to jump or do something silly. I feel like that's probably where we're headed with this. Now that I am kind of back here on the plate again, though, I remember us talking about the concept being that we were going to have kids trying to make the cow tip himself, which was our battle plan, and now I have a smart horse, which wasn't our battle plan. So there's that. That's all right. Sometimes the pictures don't go the direction we want them to. And these girls are Psi initiates. So I'm putting the Psi logo on their arms as tattoos. There we go. We'll put a belt on her. We'll come down here. We're doing the forearm. There we go. Just like this. Excellent. All right. Take a look here. So, I'm going to work on the other girl back here. She's watching this whole thing go down and finding it very funny. Girls causing trouble. There we go. I think this is kind of funny because usually people think of boys causing trouble, but girls cause trouble too. Trouble's kind of different sometimes, but it's still funny. And she's wearing some kind of shorts. All right. Getting there. All right. This is another one of those, a dot makes all the difference. Because it really does. Just one dot in this point is going to change the dynamics of everything here. There we go. And I feel like we've kind of got to at least where the point where the rough is in. So we can get rid of the underdrawing. The underdrawing. It's like the Undertaker, except different. Underdrawing. We're just going to get rid of all this underdrawing here. Try not to do damage to the actual thing. You know, this was not the layer I wanted. Where was David for his layer check? This is the layer I wanted. We're just gonna block this zone. So, it's up 2 rows, right? It's like your old layer check still stands, David. Your old layer check still stands. Now that we've gotten only to here, here's what I'm going to work on. First things first, I think we should like to do this with our pants a little to kind of get just a little bit more definition here. Second things second, her belt. Sort of the idea I've got here is that, you know, troubled kids become Psy. I guess that's my statement. I figure. Mamas, don't let your kids grow up to be Psy. There we go. We're just heading into the definition areas here. Like you constantly are trying to remind all of us to just check your layers, people. This is all David wants in life, is just for us to check our layers. That's so much to ask. There we go. And do that over here and just add some weight to this. I've got Mama, don't let your babies grow up to be cowboys in my head. That's my own fault. I have nobody but me to blame. Certainly. There we go. Go in here and get the Marianne. Marianne. You know that Don Wells, who played Marianne on Gilligan, is one of the 2 remaining living cast members on Gilligan's Island. She still does a lot of work for kids and things like that. And she works with literacy programs, and she did well in her life. The actress that played Ginger apparently really had problems with the cast, but that's something that I guess they got over in time or something. Seems like the actress that played Ginger was also she wanted to be the star of the show, and of course you're not the star in an ensemble cast, so I think she found offense to that. And so flip this over and get just a little bit of highlight in this girl's hair. There we go. Just like this. Just like this. I feel like her mohawk is just Mohawkian. Right? Like, it's just a big mohawk, and there's nothing we can do about it. But we can add the back of her head, get some shape in here. Right? Because there we go. I like the horse being wary. Like, what are you girls doing? What are you girls doing anyway? But a good horse has hairs like this. And give him more expressive lips because it's funny. Right? And what we've got here is a horse that they're trying to convince to do something stupid, which I guess is funny. I think that's pretty funny. Okay. The other thing we're going to do is this. And seal up here and here. Like this. And do this. And you're like, but you just went through. Yes, I did. I went through all of that, and now I have changed my mind. I feel like they should be wearing black, because that will make me sing AC/DC songs. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you're too young. I'm just saying. So, we're just going to put along this outside edge here some shine, but the belt still needs to cover that like this. Same thing right up here, we need some shine. Because I feel like both of them would be wearing like black shirts and black pants. You know what I mean? I feel kind of like A, they're gothic. They're Psy. But B, they're just being bad girls. Alright, doing this here, we're just putting highlights along her shirt here to kind of indicate where things are going. I'm going to clean some of this highlight up. I'm going to clean some of that up like that. That's too much for cleanup. That's also too much for cleanup. There we go. That's what we're looking for. There we go. Just giving some highlight in there. I think we're going to do the same thing with this girl over here. She's got a black shirt and apparently there's a leak. So we'll go through here and do this. These girls are trouble. Trouble. You can always tell troubled people because they're wearing black. That's obvious. I mean, clearly. Though, to be fair, there are things that we all say, oh yeah, well that's definitely true. Black is a more intimidating color, so people who want to intimidate tend to wear black, which makes sense. It's a signal. And sometimes we do that. Understanding psychology is, in fact, one of the traits of a good artist. Because you want to know what they're thinking and what the concept is. You don't just make a uniform black because it's cool looking. You have to make a uniform black knowing that you're making a signal, a psychology signal of some sort. A lot of the reason that it's so intimidating is because we use it it's used to indicate you're trying to keep camouflaged at night and not be seen. Which is why practically urban camouflage is black. Look at the old BDUs with their black design. That comes from needing to make it so that your so that your person is hidden. That's the whole point. All right. Yeah, at least now I have painted black going through my head, and that's better than we had before. So, now what I really want to do is darken this section of the picture. So, I'm just going to put in a tree over here. Because I really want is darkness over in this side so that it just completes the picture. So we're just going to go on ahead and just put in this tree. As you can say, it's there we go. So interestingly, last night I ordered new lights, which I think will be fun. The lights are studio lights, so they're a panel about this big, but they're all LEDs, so it's a flat panel. And the LEDs, I can control their color, so we can do stuff like this if we wanted to. I think that's kind of cool. I could certainly fill this in, but then it wouldn't get this pattern on. So I'm just doing this. This gives me some nice kind of broken, looks like leaves, sort of line work in here. And go like that and add this up here, and there we go, just like this. All right. This is a cartoonist trick. And just go back through and break up the patterns. There we go. I darkened that corner of the picture, which is what I really wanted in the first place. We're going to there we go, just like that. This isn't all, of course. We're going to need grass or background or something back here. I'm actually going to fix this. We've got a little knot right there on the tree. This tree is so naughty. Then we'll go back through and do this. And this just gives me some highlight to work with right through here, right? So it doesn't look just like I didn't pay attention to it. Because it actually has something going on. I'll go like this and just like this. Right? So up here on these guys. And we're just going to give some highlight to these. There we go, like that. So that's where we are on this. Is we're going to kind of go through there and do that. Also kind of want to clean up her shirt a little bit here. There we go. It looks more deliberate, like I meant to do that. Now, the other thing we're going to do is this. We're going to go through here and we're going to just put in ground. And I'm going to intentionally leave a gap on either side here. And that way, I don't get converging tangents, and you can easily see who's doing what and where. And it's not so confusing. So I'm going to add that, and then we're just going to add some trees in the background. This is some kind of forest or something like that in the background here. Right? Again, you don't want to leave you don't want these to touch. It will distract from the object in the foreground. And this is part of what will make it pop out a little. Just like that. Now what I am going to do is check this line, because you know me, we've had this discussion before. I am notorious for not getting this right. So there we go. And when I say I don't get things right, what I really mean is that I have a hard time with straight lines. And I don't know what my problem is, but I'll just use the computer to do the straight lines, and that's fine. Now the tree down here is effectively part of the background, so I'm going to not worry about that. We're going to pass these down. Because now what we can do is go in here tighter. And we're just going to erase like this. So it follows the horse's leg. That follows the horse's leg as well. And that does, and this does. So really just determined to use the wrong tool. We need a tool check just like we need a layer check. There we go. So all we're doing here is just adding a little bit of something right through here to give this just a little bit of distance. And I'm cleaning it all up so it all feels uniform. Through here, this needs desperately to be done that way. And you can see that I was off by a little bit, I guess. Not a whole lot. but enough that there. See you later, David. Thanks for joining me, man. I appreciate it. Have a good day. I'll see you later on. I am almost out of coffee. What a horrible thing. Oh well. We're going to go ahead and just clean this up a little right here. And then clean this up a little right there. All right. Now let's talk about coloring in right under here. Right, like this, just to give him some inner leg work here. Inside the muscle groups of a horse. I always am just amazed by horses in general, right? Because somehow this massive beast gets held up by these four very spindly legs. And it amazes me that these horses don't have more dramatic broken leg things. I mean, I know that they do break their legs and things like that, and they get sick. I have a buddy who just lost one of her horses. Or her horse, I guess, her key horse. You know, like the one she was on, or the one that meant a lot to her. And I feel really bad for her because, you know, it's a devastating loss. It's pretty sad. I feel bad for her. But still, it amazes me a lot that they can hold themselves up. A lot of weight on these legs, right? There's a lot of weight here. A whole lot of weight. There we go. Somebody's using Jakes outside. Jake brakes. All we're doing here is giving depth to this picture a little here, right? We're giving some depth to our horse. I feel very much like I should be adding another ear back there, but the horse's ears are back because the horse is annoyed, right? Our horse is pretty ticked off, so I don't want to add too much over here, but I feel like there should be another ear. You should be seeing. Maybe not there, though. It's right here. There we go. Well, that's much better. That's much, much, much better. I'll join in here on this one. I'm going to go ahead and just color in some underneath him, like underneath his chin here. I feel like if ever there was a spot that needs to be dark, it's right through here. So, like, we've got underneath the chin there, giving some weight, gives some kind of power to that. That should make this a lot better on that one. I'm liking this a lot. I think this piece is great. Really spent about 40 minutes on this piece. I could have probably done a little faster on this. But, I'll just do some final touch-ups right here. Clean up the blocks that we made for this. And all we're doing here is just making it so that it looks like it intentionally disappears. Okay, so that's all we're doing at this point in time is just intentionally inking it out, right? And this just tells people in sort of that universal art code that there's more down here. We just haven't got it. Just don't do it. That way it doesn't look like her leg just cuts off. She has no legs. Yeah. Same thing we'll do over here with this. We're just extending out. All right. I'm going to turn this more like this. I can't read my screen, and I think I'm not aimed directly at my mouth, which, that's an important thing. I also feel like when I'm facing this way, my voice bounces off the monitor and then goes into here, which I think maybe gives you kind of an interesting echo effect. I'm sure that's more entertaining than it needs to be. All right. That looks great. Okay. As I have been known to do before, I'm going to turn off the screen share so I can save this, because I need to turn off this layer and fix a few things on this layer, and this will just take a second. So bear with me for just a moment here while I clean up the rest of this blue line. Looks good. Okay. We'll hit Control-Shift-E on this, and that'll flatten it down. And then I'll call this page. And I'll cut the page so that the instructions are off. Save, and we'll clear this piece. All right. I want to real quickly bring back Dr. Mom. And this is our third piece for the day. And go back to the screen share mode. There we go. I'm curious. If I turn off, yeah, I guess so. It just puts a black square, though. Huh. I mean, I like this little in the square in the bottom here. It's kind of cool. But, yeah. Anyway, okay. So we're back to Muppet Girl. And I'm still having a problem with her because she's a Muppet. This time I've been going through and working on the painting aspect of this, and I love the way that the painting is looking. But we're going to work on some stuff here. We're going to do some of, first of all, I think she needs teeth. Teeth up. Right, so we're going to put in some teeth. So now I'm kind of feeling like she doesn't look maniacal enough. You know what I mean? Now she just looks happy. I don't want her to look happy. I want her to look crazy. So I've kind of figured out there's something going on here. But I'm certainly not thinking the teeth is the answer to this question. You know how this works. So what you do when you're stuck like this is you go work on the other parts of this drawing and then just fix it later. So we'll come back to it. Let's get the watercolor brush out. I'm going to just do this. This is just evening out this here a little so that it's not... So it's got a little bit of a brush shape to it and doesn't look quite as static, right? It's giving it a more natural look. This is also giving it more of a painterly feel. So we'll go through here like this. Much more of a painterly feel to it. Less cell shading. There we go. We're just going through here. We're just painterly. Yep, that's a word. Painterly. Or painterly. The way that this looks here, we're just going to be dirtying it up. There we go. We're just dirtying this up. Making it look better. There. And that makes it look like it's more like it's a painting and less like it's. And I may just decide that the only way to handle that face of hers is to redo it all from scratch. And that would be okay, because I can go through then with the painting and just paint in all of the planes of the face. Like, I think her nose is fine. I just have to figure out what to do with her eyes. I have to figure out what to do with her mouth. I think it's more her mouth than anything else in this particular piece. But that's okay. I mean, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. It's not a problem. We will get there. We will get there. Always do. We can solve anything. Solve anything. There we go. So, not wanting to make a complete disaster out of this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this as Dr. Mom 2. Right? And the whole idea here is from this point forward, I can make a mess of this and come back to this painting if I need to. The first thing I think I want to do is, let's just go ahead and fix the planes here. So we'll just go ahead and paint over her mouth completely. And then paint over her eyes. We're gonna end up with creepypasta again. I'm sorry, guys. But I'll be able to at least get an idea of what he's doing in here. This is an episode of Star Trek called Charlie X. And no matter what happens, every time something like this occurs, I just can't help but think about Charlie X. I had nightmares about that poor girl with no face. For years I had nightmares. It's still so disturbing to me. Which is why I often say, as a parent, you never know what's going to traumatize your kid. Yeah, really just don't. You never know. Okay, so I'm feeling pretty confident that the planes of her face are pretty straight up and okay. Because looking at just the planes of her face, you seem to be pretty okay. So it may just be in that specific aspect of this around this corner here. It may just be in a specific aspect of let's see here. I'm just trying to kind of think while drawing. Harder to do than it looks. I think that the problem may lie in just trying to get that expression correct, which is fine. We'll work here on this stage, starting here, and I'll go back to the drawing board and redraw the facial structures in here and see if I can't get a little bit more crazy on this. And give it a shot anyway. That's my thought. So I'll go on ahead and save this. But I'm not feeling like that's a bad thing per se. I feel like we're doing good. So certainly I feel like the aspects that we're dealing with right now. Here, let's go ahead and move that one so you can see what I'm talking about. I feel like the aspects of the picture, the planes of her face are correct. It looks like it's, all of the basic structure of the faces is correct. So I'm not unhappy with that per se. So we're just going to have to go back in and I'm going to have to pull up. I'm going to pull up my comic books, my books on how to do comics and comic design, and just go back through how to make crazy faces and then apply that on top. Because I want that kind of maniacal, sort of crazy, bizarre effect. That's what I'm looking for over here, and I'm not getting it. I wasn't hitting that point whenever I had. The rest of the picture looks just fine. So it's just that I'm not getting that crazy part of her face. I am enjoying the fact that I've got sort of a more painterly look going for this, so that's going to be kind of cool. Probably should have worked on top of the line work and just repainted in, but that's okay. We all live and learn. So there you go. Okay, guys. Well, I'm coming up to the end of the hour here, and I'm getting kind of hungry, and so I'm looking forward to lunch, and I bet you guys are too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on ahead and head on out, and I will, of course, as usual, I will see you all on the morrow, if you will, and everything will be cool. Thanks for joining me today, and I hope you had a good time. I enjoyed having you with me today. So thanks for visiting, and I'll see you later.